I don't just talk about other people's stuff, I also make my own. Books in particular. To date, I have 4 books you can check out on Amazon. Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and the short story collection Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Hop on down to the description for Amazon links to all 4 books. Enjoy whichever ones you read, and enjoy the video.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and as a collector of Godzilla merchandise, I've had to accept the fact that there are some things which will just never be available to me. Case in point, the Shogun Godzilla figure.
Released back in the 70s as part of the Shogun Warriors line, this doesn't seem like it would be a highly sought after collectible at a glance. The design doesn't really look like Godzilla, it's kind of ugly even without that context, the proportions are all over the map, and its features as a toy don't make much sense. Yet because the figure is so rare, and figures with the original spring-loaded fist are doubly so, it's considered the holy grail of Godzilla figures. Sure, you can find them on eBay sometimes, but the price is so high that most of us common folks can't afford it. There was a semi-reissue released in 2019 that had a more film-accurate design, but even that was over $200 brand new, and now it's also out of stock.
I've just had to come to terms with the fact that it's never going to be a part of my collection. Such is the way of things, I guess.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. It is Christmas after all, and Christmas is a time for miracles to happen. As a matter of fact, I happen to have one of those Shogunzilla things with me here right now.
For real?
You bet. Only, it is a little bit smaller than the original. Still, it's something. Might make for good video material.
It just might at that. Since I've already got the cameras running, I may as well review it now.
Cool. You do that, I'm gonna help myself to some figgy pudding.
It's in the fridge, enjoy. Okay, so where to begin with this guy?
This figure is part of the ReAction figures line by Super7. I'm sure you've seen these guys before, as the line prior to this has included retro-style collectibles based on Alien, Star Trek, Transformers, Iron Maiden album covers, and various horror icons from the 20s all the way to the 80s, to name but a few. This is their first Godzilla figure as far as I've seen, and the choice was made to model it after the Shogun Warriors design. Obviously that means the figure is much smaller than its nearly 2-foot tall progenitor, but at least that'll save you shelf space. Oh, there's also a variant where the head, hands, spine, and tail glow in the dark like the Aurora model kit, but they're the same figure otherwise. As Rodney mentioned, the figure is much smaller than the original, though it's standard size for other ReAction figures at almost 4 inches tall. There are 6 points of articulation, both arms, both legs, the head, and the tail. Only the tail is capable of full circle rotation. The arms and legs naturally stop thanks to the body sculpt, and the head can only turn 180 degrees before it just stops. At least as far as I've tried. I'm trying to be careful, I don't want to break the thing. Speaking of the body sculpt, that's the main selling point of this thing. It really does look like a scaled down version of the original Shogun Godzilla. Like I said, this isn't one of the prettier Godzilla designs. He looks like someone mixed a dinosaur, a bulldog, and a kosher pickle into some unholy affront to God and nature. But that's the look, and it's replicated here. The attention to detail is very close, even going as far as adding a seam around the right hand, which could be launched like a rocket on the original figure. This guy's fist doesn't fire, but the detail is a nice touch. The figure also includes the infamous fire tongue, which extends when you push the giant red button on the back of the head. There appears to be a spring inside the cranium which allows the flame to retract on its own, so it doesn't remain extended unless you hold the button down. I assume the original figure worked the same way, but having never held one in my hands, I wouldn't know. There are, however, no wheels on the bottom of the feet, but that's no big loss to me. As you can imagine, the short stature and stylized aesthetic of this figure means he won't scale very well against Bandai, NECA, Monster Arts, or Playmates figures. He does, however, look pretty good alongside the short and stylized Bullmark figures, so if you have any of those and you don't want the figure to be standing alone, there you go. Now, I should probably mention the price here. Original Shogun figures can run up to $2,000 on eBay if you can find one. This figure is the affordable option by default, but I still paid $18 rounded up for it. It's designed to be a collector's item, I realize, and those generally cost more to make than your average action figure. At the same time, though, Playmates is currently producing bigger figures that actually look like their movie counterparts and selling them for a lower price. The 6-inch GVK figures, for example, average around $10 a pop unless they've been scalped. So the ReAction Shogunzilla is more affordable than its inspiration, but also more expensive than other alternatives on the market. I guess you just have to ask yourself how badly you want this particular Godzilla in your collection.
Bottom line, if you always wanted the Shogun Godzilla in your collection but you didn't want to pay through the nose for it, this is your best option, period. On the other hand, if you can't reconcile the $18 price tag with the size, I completely understand. It's your choice, ultimately. As for me, though, I've got one and I'm gonna find a place to display him. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. I wonder if this means Super7 is going to release the robots in the Shogun Warriors line. Or maybe the Shogun Rodan. That guy's twice as rare as Godzilla. Yeah, Shogun Rodan would definitely be on my list of must-haves.
Congratulations, you reached the end. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to consider supporting us on Patreon. Of course, the other way to support us is to go to Amazon and check out our books, Operation Red Dragon, The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, The Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Also check the description for links to DeviantArt and other platforms we operate. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.